All right, Jem, congratulations on your first 2 collegiate career goals, getting the brace tonight. Just how's it feel?
Yeah, it feels great. Kind of defenders don't score often, so it was kind of a little bit of a out-of-body experience when I saw the ball go in the net twice. But the deliveries from Clarence were great, and that's what we do. We rehearse it in the morning in the lift, and that's why we rehearse it, so we can do it on the pitch.
Yes, both on set pieces, coming off their free kicks from Clarence Alador. Just what's the connection with him been like?
Look, I think he's a fantastic player, and from a dead ball situation, he's always dangerous. He makes my job a lot easier. So yeah, I know where the ball's going. I kind of make my movement, and then if the ball arrives, I just go and head it, go and commit to it. So.
Y'all, of course, have had some challenges against some top 25 teams. What have you learned about this team over the course of this non-conference slate?
I think we've learned a lot about each other. I think with 17 new players come in. So I think kind of having those tough times, having those experiences and being able to like pull from them and relate to them at times has been really important. And I think moving forward, we felt what it's like to be against the top teams. And I think we're a top team. So I just think there's been a lot of growth since then. So I feel like we can build and really, really challenge going forward.
Does it help getting that draw with South Florida there?
Yeah, it was huge. It was huge. I think we dominated the game. I think anyone watching that from at home would have seen that. But I think tonight it was just keeping a clean sheet because we conceded very early in that game and then scoring, and it ended up being me. So.
Indeed. What were you seeing there defensively? Just talk about how you're able to kind of limit them tonight.
I think there was just a lot of awareness, a lot of communication between the back four. I think that was the key, because I think it can get difficult with like 20 minutes to go. 2-0 is kind of a dodgy scoreline in football. If they score once, they kind of have momentum and everyone gets a little bit nervous. So it's just important to kind of control the game and defend properly at the right times. So,
what brought you to UCF in the first place from across the pond?
I think firstly what the coaches brought me their plan and their ambitions, and they kind of treated me as a person as well as a player. That kind of holistic approach, that care, was really, really important to me and something I value a lot. And I feel coming here has been like a family. So everyone, all the players, all the staff, everyone around the campus has made my life pretty easy transitioning. So.
What's it been like then working with this back four? Anderson Rosa, I know he's been a major force on that line for the past 5 years before this. So what's it been like now?
I think we've got some quality players. Gwen, he's been there this season, done it. Timothy come back in today, which was brilliant for him. He's been out for a while and he looked really, really good. I think we've got a lot of depth this year. Matus, he can play left side and he can also play centre back. So I feel like we've got a lot of key players in key areas. So I don't think we necessarily rely on one person. If someone gets injured, someone's not feeling it, they can roll on it and they can do the same job. So I think having that depth and that kind of connection and that unselfishness to kind of give up your place sometimes is the key to it. So.
What's the biggest thing this team needs to take with it as you head into Sunbelt play? You got some more top 25 matches. You go on the road against Kentucky and they got to come back to play West Virginia. Just
belief. We've shown, we've watched it, we've seen it, how good of a team we can be. I think we weren't great tonight, but I think that USF game was evident that we can play and we are really, really good at times. So I think just taking that confidence, taking that belief, taking that courage to play and being brave, I think that's the key.
What's something about you that maybe most UCF fans might not know about you yet?
I guess, you could probably hear me if you're watching on the pitch. I'm quite loud. Obviously being English, lucky enough to come from a place where it's quite a big club in England and kind of growing up in a professional environment. Having those experiences to pull from has been like a blessing. So I think kind of that professionalism and that kind of willingness to win and understanding how to get over the line is big. So.
Yeah. What's it like coming from like that professional environment? Because I've seen people, come from schools and academies, but you were like straight on like a professional football club, especially in a football crazy country like England. Coming over here. So what's that been like coming over here?
I think the way that it's treated over here, the facilities, the way we train, the way we eat, the way we recover, the physio rooms, everything, the facilities are top notch. So I don't think the transition's been too difficult. And I think the coaches are a high level, the players are a high level. So to be honest, the transition, yes, doesn't come from Premier League footballers, but there's a top group of players, some of the best I've ever seen. So I don't see the transition being huge. So.
All right, Juanvi, congratulations on the win. How does it feel to get one more before conference play?
Feels really good. I think at the beginning of the season we were struggling a little bit. I think we were training really good and we didn't have the results that we wanted, but having a win before we start conference is really good for the team, and I think that's going to increase our confidence for the next game. So
Didn't have to save that many tonight, but you did have to get one pretty quick there. Just what was it like, kind of like to have to really get on there at the beginning?
at the beginning,
Yes.
yeah, I mean, I had to react quickly because it was a low ball right there. But I mean, at the end, we reacted really good. They didn't have a chance after that, so I think that the reaction of the group was amazing.
You conceded some early goals earlier on this season. So what have you kind of learned from that as you kind of move on to this last long conference game going into Sunday?
Well, at the beginning of the game, we always said that we have to be locked in because, as you said, we conceded a couple goals like early in the games, and we have to improve that if we want to be at the top level and we want to be top in the ranking. So I think that today we improved that, and we want to keep that for the next games as well.
Didn't have to save that many today, just a couple there. Just what were you seeing from the back line?
Well, I think that today there was a lot of communication in the back. Also, we talked about it as well. I think that we conceded some goals because there was lack of communication, and I think that today we improved that. And as I said before, like from here is just the beginning of something good. So.
One of those backliners ended up getting a brace tonight with Jem. Just what's it like to see him end up scoring his first 2 collegiate goals in the same game?
So we were talking about that we weren't dangerous enough on set pieces, and I think that today we scored 2 goals, and I mean I feel really good for him because he has been working really hard in trainings, and I think that he deserved it, and that's it. I think that we needed that from our center backs as well. We're working really hard, as I said, like in set pieces, and we needed a goal.
What has this team learned about itself over these first few games this season?
Well, we learned that we have to be really competitive in every single game. Like here in college soccer, the level is really equal, but what makes the difference is the intensity and that kind of thing, like set pieces, like the communication. I mean, if we want to be in the top, like we always have to have the right intensity. So.
Tell me about that USF game. You know, the USF game right there. You know, I believe you played them against them a few times. So what was it like during that one, and what was it like to get at least a result with a draw against a top 25 team?
Well, it was really frustrating because we thought that we were really dominating them the whole game. We had like 19, 20 shots on target. Well, we think that the goalkeeper had an amazing game, but at the same time, it was frustrating. We thought that we had like very good chances to win the game, even 3-1 or 4-1, but we never gave up. We were like fighting until the end, and we were really proud of ourselves. It was a ranked team. It's a derby, so in Florida is a really special game, and I think that we showed up the game. So.
You have a couple more top 25 teams on the docket next. You go out to Kentucky, then you got to come back and host West Virginia. What do you learn from take this match as you go into the end South Florida?
Yeah, so I mean, we already know that our season is really tough. We're gonna have really good teams in this season, and as you guys know, we don't have we're playing now against West Virginia at home, then away. So it's a simple game, and we know that the league is really tough. So we just have to have the right intensity, and we want to win every single game. So
you had the chance to tell your story about your number change. What was it like to be able to have that shared out there?
For me, it's amazing. As I said, in the interview, having this number means a lot for me. I think that my mom will be really proud and will be really happy what UCF did to me, because just thinking about me and my mom, I mean, that detail was really, really good from UCF, and I'm never gonna forget that. So.
Any comments about Jem Hewlett goals today?
Yeah, we're happy. We had a bit of a focus going into this game to be better on set pieces, to be more dangerous on set pieces, and I think it was pretty clear today. You know, with Jem in those moments, those were important moments in the game. They decided the game. So really, really happy with that. I think we have, along with Jem, other players as well who can be really dangerous on set pieces. The service today was very good from Clarence, and it's an important part of the game. And it's a part of the game that if you want to be able to win against teams where you're not going to get a ton of chances, but you have a lot of the ball, then you've got to be able to be effective. So really happy that he was able to score 2 goals today.
Jem and Juanvi were talking about communication with this one. How have you seen this team like improve on communicating so far into this season?
Yeah, I think well, there's lots of different kinds of communication, right? I think you have a group of players that have come together that have now played in some really difficult games, and the understanding between players, and it's more like these subtle moments of communication, is growing. I think the group is growing. I think they really like each other. I think there's a real like they enjoy being together, they enjoy spending time together, and that's building a lot of cohesion on the field and off the field. So I think the group is made a lot of progress, and communication is so important to that.
Jem was talking about how he can be really loud out there, you know, him coming from England and the professional football atmosphere over there. So what's it been like having him here and then to come out and get his first goals in a brace?
Yeah, I think Jem brings energy, right? And that can be something that can be transmitted and contagious. And when you have someone that's vocal and they're going to give energy to other people, I think it can help other people to kind of raise their level. And the more players that are willing to do that, to give energy to others, I think it raises their level, and I think it raises other people's level as well. So you know, not everyone is wired the same way in terms of like how they want to lead. Some people are a little bit more by example. Jem's one. I think he actually plays better when he's organizing and communicating.
You talked about Timothy Rice coming back. Just what was it like having him back out there today?
It was so good to see Timo out there. He had we were talking about it as he came off the field. It's been a year pretty much to the day since he's been able to play, and so he's such a great person. He's such a good teammate. He's all these incredible things off the field and on the field. He's such a good player. So to have him back, to give us another player at the right back position at this really high level, I think it's important for us, and I was very happy for him. You can only imagine the amount of work that he's had to put in with our training staff, and they're amazing. Pat, the work he's done to help Timo get back into a position where he can play at this level. The surgeons, there's so many people that help Timo get there, but the amount of work Timo's had to do, it's incredible. So really happy for him.
Managed to get that draw against the top 25 South Florida program there. According to the players, you guys really dominated that one. Just what's your take on that, and how does that kind of help prepare you? Because you got 2 more top 25 opponents coming up.
Yeah, I think that USF game, without it really being my opinion, just looking at the statistics, we were very good in that game. We created a lot of chances. Our XG, I think, was like a goal plus higher than theirs. The amount of possession, it was a really good performance from the group, and the energy the group had, the intensity that the group brought to the game, how they competed. It was a bit of a derby, right? And there's the war on I-4, and we have a lot of new players, and they weren't initially aware of that. But they became aware of that with a couple posts that were put out on social media, and I think that really showed that we can compete, and that we're willing to battle. And I thought we were very good in that game. I thought we were very unfortunate. Their goalkeeper played quite well, and I thought we were unfortunate not to score more in that game.
What have you learned about this team over the course of this non-conference slate?
Yeah, I mean, I think people are within this group. There's a lot of depth, and so today you even saw, we made a couple changes with about 15-20 minutes to go in the first half, and we saw, I think, an increase in our performance, and those guys gave us a real lift, and the level was excellent from them. So it's really difficult to make choices with this group in terms of who's going to start, who's going to come off the bench, who's going to play how many minutes. So I was really excited to see that we have a depth in quality, and there are some players, maybe they're not starting, but they have the right attitude, that they want to come on, they want to make a difference. So there's so many things I've learned about this group, And I think this group is growing in its performances. And I'm excited I think we've definitely put this group through enough adversity where they're ready to now play a conference schedule.
You've mentioned how you talked about you getting better on set pieces. What's it like to immediately see them respond in a way like this?
Yeah, I think for one, they're a group that's willing to take on information, and they do want to they do want to produce what's being asked of them from the coaches. So they're a group that's able to learn quickly, continue to get better, and they were very good in that facet of the game today.
The conference schedule you talked about starts out tough with 2 top 25 opponents. You go on the road to face Kentucky, and then you come back against a top 10 team in West Virginia.
Yeah.
So just what does this team need to do in order to pull out a win there?
I think we have to get better ourselves, and sometimes you're spending time focusing on what do you have to do to specifically play against an opponent, and sometimes you're working on the things that you need to do really well. And I think we can continue to get better in the final third. I think there was a big step in South Florida, and this was a little different game because they sat in a low block. They made it very difficult for us to get into the final third. But I think we have to continue to grow in that facet of the game for sure.
Juanvi got the chance to showcase the story behind his number changer. Saw that recently. What was it like for you to kind of see him get a chance to tell that story and to be with him as he kind of navigated that process to change it?
Yeah, I love, obviously these guys, they're more than just soccer players, right? And they come here and they have a lot of history, a lot of personal stories. So for me, I think it's really important that people see this other side to our athletes.